We write about heroes, we write about villains, we write about worlds being saved. And yet, comics itself is a world that needs saving right now, and there's nobody that can save it but us.
Now, comics is an old language, because before we spoke as creatures on this earth, as human creatures, we used images to convey ideas.
The Yellow Kid was the first and most popular comic strip. I mean, it was the comic strip that really imbued itself into public consciousness.
I certainly don't think of the Yellow Kid as the first comic, and I think Rudolf Topfer is a very important starting point.
Everyone, almost everyone, who have written a book about comics and used a definition, have used a definition that makes sure that the comics have originated in their country. So this discussion has always been nationalistic.
If you do comics that are, centered on adult themes, you're doing pornography, or you're doing, pornography aimed at corrupting children. That's why writing prose, just words seem so attractive, is you can write about anything, and people can't flip open the book and then suddenly say, oh my God, here's a woman with her shirt off. Children shouldn't see this, even though, like, the very first thing a baby sees is a breast.
The stigma in America of the comic book being something that's primarily children's entertainment. It's very funny. On Amazon.com, the Red Star is Parallel History of the Soviet Union is recommended for readers age 4 to 8.
I decided I would write a book and address a subject that no comics would have done before, which is man's relationship with God.
In the last 5 issues, Max would say, well, I'll see you this issue, kids, and this issue is going to be a guy and his wife fighting. And where did that come from? Who could know? I would tell these personal stories that would test the patience of everyone.
It's about a character who meets his father for the first time. For me, I guess it was sort of a dry run before I met my real dad.
He wasn't brave because he died. He was brave because of the way he lived. And that's what I wanted to show. I wanted to show how horrible this experience was. Good and bad. Show him when he was living and what a brave person he was, and also what it was like to know him, love him, and lose him.
I had a dream one night that I had cheated on my husband, and I woke up and I just felt terrible. And I had been wanting to do a romance comic for some time, and when I was talking to my editor, I had mentioned it, and he thought that it sounded like something that we could really do.
Those girls just sort of popped into my head one day, and I thought, why not? Those are perfect characters, and they seemed absolutely real to me, and I felt like, oh, I could write these without even thinking about it.
I've got so used to being kicked down by the establishment thing that even though I write quite radical stuff, there's still some part of me that tries to conform. The sensor's in here.
I wanted to go completely berserk, and I had an idea of setting the comics in dreams as a way of going berserk.
It's the complete opposite of comics for me, because comics is very controlled. We don't plan anything out. We just go with blank boards, put them up, and the music starts. It's completely spontaneous and just based on, like, the energy of the moment.
I don't see online comics or digital comics as a threat to traditional comics.
I don't think it's going to save comics. I think graphic novels will, if we can survive that transition.
As soon as comics came in contact with digital media, we went in a lot of different directions. We tried adding sound, we tried adding motion, we tried adding interactivity.
Someone is going to get it amazingly right, and after that, we will, I'm sure, continue on the traditional cycle of innovation, success, and then imitation.
I don't agree with Scott. Finally, he said to me, you're a medieval monk sitting there doing these books and saying, well, this guy Gutenberg will never make it. So, I guess he's right.
There are Japanese comics that sell 2.5 to 3 million copies a week in black and white. Now, compared to that, there is no American market. Why is that? Why is that? We have to ask that question, and we have to find the answers, and we have to be very bold in our experimentation about how we help American comics, in particular the American market, survive.